here today just to tell the truth. So hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Then they will definitely do what they can to try to blackball you, yes. I don't doubt that people have attempted to blackball me.
What if one of Hollywood's wildest minds dropped a bombshell that could turn the entertainment world upside down? Picture this: Jim Carrey, the man who's made us laugh, cry, and question reality itself, allegedly spilling secrets so shocking, Thiele spilling secrets so shocking, I have left fans and insiders reeling. According to whispers and unconfirmed reports, Carrey has revealed that Oprah Winfrey and Sean Combs, yes, Oprah and Diddy, were secretly terrified of none other than Michael Jackson. That's right, the king of pop, the man whose moonwalk revolutionized music and whose enigmatic life continues to captivate the world years after his passing, might have wielded a power so immense it left even these titans of influence unnerved. But why? What could Michael Jackson have possibly known or done that would strike fear into two of the most untouchable figures in showbiz? Buckle up, because this tangled web of power, paranoia, and intrigue is just getting started.
Dumb and Dumber 2 opens tomorrow. Please say hello to Jim Carrey.
But let's begin with Michael himself. By the time the 90s rolled around, Michael Jackson wasn't just a pop star. He was a phenomenon, a living legend whose influence stretched far beyond music. He sold out stadiums globally, his albums shattered records, and his moves were imitated by millions. But Michael was more than just an entertainer. He was a cultural force, a man whose every word and gesture seemed to ripple across the world. Yet, for all the adoration, there was an air of mystery about him, an untouchable quality that kept even his closest peers at arm's length. Was it his genius, his eccentricity, or something more? According to the alleged claims attributed to Jim Carrey, Michael didn't just command attention. He commanded respect and perhaps even fear from some of the most powerful people in Hollywood.
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower.
Take Oprah, for example. She's a woman who's built an empire on trust, transparency, and connection. Her interviews have made audiences laugh, cry, and reflect. In 1993, she sat down with Michael Jackson for a prime-time special that pulled in an astonishing 90 million viewers. It was a groundbreaking moment, with Michael opening up about his skin condition, his childhood, and the relentless scrutiny he faced. Yet, behind the smiles and candid conversation, Jim Carrey allegedly claims there was tension and unspoken unease. Oprah, the queen of control, reportedly found Michael to be an enigma she couldn't quite crack. His refusal to conform to conventional narratives, his cryptic aura, and his sheer unpredictability allegedly made her cautious. Think about it. Oprah thrives on structure and clarity, but Michael? He thrived on mystery. It was a clash of energies, and according to the rumored insights, it left Oprah feeling unsettled.
For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
And then there's Sean Combs, better known as Diddy. In the 90s, Diddy was a rising star, a mogul in the making with Bad Boy Records, dominating the charts. He was ambitious, hungry, and determined to cement his place in the industry. Michael, meanwhile, was already a global icon, a figure of such magnitude that even Diddy's meteoric rise couldn't compare. According to these alleged revelations, Diddy didn't just admire Michael, he feared him. Not for his talent or fame, but for what he might have known. The entertainment industry, as glamorous as it seems, is no stranger to secrets, and Michael's close ties to influential figures reportedly gave him access to information that could shake the foundations of Hollywood. Did he know something about Diddy's rise to power? Were there whispers of deals, alliances, or rivalries that Michael could expose? The speculation is endless, and without concrete evidence, it remains just that, speculation. But the mere possibility is enough to fuel intrigue.
Have y'all spoke after this?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't have anything against Oprah.
You just called her a bitch.
I'm gonna tell you why.
You named your dog Oprah, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Now, let's talk about Jim Carrey's role in all this. Why would he, of all people, stir the pot with these alleged claims? Jim is no stranger to controversy or calling out the industry's darker side. In recent years, he stepped away from the spotlight, focusing on painting and introspection. He's criticized Hollywood's superficiality and spoken openly about the emptiness of fame. To Jim, Michael Jackson might have represented a kindred spirit, a man who, like himself, was chewed up and spit out by an industry that demands everything and gives little in return. By allegedly framing Oprah and Diddy as figures who feared Michael's unpredictability, Jim is, in a way, shining a light on the power dynamics at play in Hollywood. But is he telling the truth? Or is this just another performance? A way to provoke and challenge the status quo?
Tell her.
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do. And stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments.
Let's circle back to Oprah for a moment. Her relationship with Michael didn't end with that 1993 interview. Over the years, she's spoken about him in various contexts, from his trials to his untimely passing. Publicly, she's been respectful, even admiring. Privately, though, if Jim's alleged claims are to be believed, her feelings may have been more complicated. Imagine being the most powerful woman in media, only to encounter someone whose influence and mystique rival your own. It's not hard to see why that might create friction. Michael was a master of his narrative, doling out just enough information to keep the world intrigued, but never enough to be fully understood. For someone like Oprah, who thrives on uncovering truths and connecting with her audience, that level of control and secrecy might have been both fascinating and frustrating.
Bullies in this business. And the bullies are so used to being bullies, they don't understand when somebody bite back.
Right.
Not bark back, they bite back.
Right.
As for Diddy, his alleged fear of Michael paints a picture of a man who recognized the limits of his own power. Diddy's empire was built on charisma, talent, and relentless ambition. But Michael's influence was on another level entirely. According to the rumored insights, Diddy may have worried that Michael held cards he couldn't see, let alone play. Whether it was industry secrets, personal connections, or simply the ability to command a room like no one else, Michael represented a kind of power that Diddy couldn't replicate. And in a world where perception is everything, that kind of imbalance can be unsettling.
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here?
So, what's the takeaway here? Are these alleged fears and tensions real, or are they the product of Jim Carrey's vivid imagination? Without concrete evidence, it's impossible to say for certain. But the fact that these rumors have sparked such intense interest speaks to the enduring fascination with Michael Jackson and the enigmatic legacy he left behind. Whether he was truly a figure of fear for Oprah and Diddy, or simply a misunderstood genius, one thing is clear: Michael Jackson's influence continues to loom large even years after his passing. And if Jim Carrey's alleged claims have done anything, it's to remind us of the power, mystery, and intrigue that defined the king of pop. As we move forward, the question remains, what else might Michael have known? What secrets, if any, did he take with him? And how might those secrets continue to shape the narratives of those who knew him? These are questions that may never be answered, but they're worth pondering as we delve deeper into this tangled web of power and paranoia. Oprah Winfrey, the queen of daytime television and a cultural icon revered for her generosity, wisdom, and compassion. At least, that's the image we've all been sold. But what if that image isn't the full story? What if Oprah's carefully curated persona hides a more complicated reality? A reality where power plays, rivalries, and questionable decisions lurk just beneath the surface. Jim Carrey's alleged claims about her unease around Michael Jackson aren't the first time Oprah's name has been tied to whispers of tension and control. In fact, if you dig a little deeper, you'll find that Oprah's relationships with other celebrities have often been anything but harmonious. Could it be that the woman who built her empire on empathy and connection is far more calculating behind the scenes than we've been led to believe?
I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with.
Let's start with Monique, the Academy Award-winning actress who has been in a very public feud with Oprah for years. The fallout began after Monique's Oscar-winning performance in Precious. According to Monique, Oprah, along with Tyler Perry and director Lee Daniels, played a significant role in what she describes as her being blackballed in Hollywood. Why? Because she refused to campaign for Precious without being paid for the extra work.
Let that be a lesson to all the bullies. May it be in comedy, may it be in wherever. You never know who you step into.
Monique has been vocal about how Oprah's involvement deeply hurt her, particularly because of a personal betrayal. Here's where it gets messy. Monique claims Oprah blindsided her by inviting her estranged family, including her brother who had admitted to harming her as a child, onto the Oprah Winfrey Show. Monique says she had given Oprah her blessing to interview her brother, but not the rest of her family. This, she says, crossed a line. In an interview, Monique didn't hold back, saying, "That woman lied. That woman said to me, 'I'm going to take care of your family.' And she didn't. She had my mother on the show who lied and said things that weren't true." Monique even revealed that she asked Oprah directly, "Why would you do that to me?" Oprah's response, according to Monique, was silence. For someone who preaches integrity and understanding, Oprah's actions here seem, at best, inconsistent with her public persona. The feud has dragged on for years, with Monique recently sharing that she even has recorded conversations where Tyler Perry admitted wrongdoing, but he has yet to apologize publicly. Oprah, for her part, has remained characteristically silent, letting the narrative play out without directly addressing it. But doesn't that silence speak volumes?
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do.
And Monique isn't the only one who has clashed with Oprah. Let's talk about 50 Cent. Yes, the rapper who has built a career on his brash persona once found himself at odds with Oprah, but not in the way you might think. Their feud wasn't about money or contracts. It was about values. 50 Cent has publicly stated that Oprah's criticism of his lyrics, which she labeled as misogynistic and glorifying violence, felt personal. He even went so far as to name his dog Oprah in a cheeky jab. "She was completely against everything that was in my music," 50 Cent said in an interview. "So she ain't never going to have me on that show. I'm never going to have me on that show. I'm never going to reach that platform, which is confirmation of you being a huge success." For years, 50 Cent felt snubbed by Oprah, believing that she dismissed him and his art without trying to understand where he was coming from.
And I heard on the street, Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
Their tension eventually thawed when they sat down for a conversation, but even then, the dynamic was telling. 50 Cent didn't back down from his perspective, and Oprah didn't exactly apologize. It was more of a truce than a reconciliation. The entire saga raises questions about Oprah's openness, or lack thereof, to viewpoints that don't align with her own. Is she really the empathetic listener she portrays herself to be, or is she a gatekeeper, deciding who gets a platform and who doesn't based on her own values? Then there's Rose McGowan, the outspoken activist who has taken aim at Oprah for what she sees as hypocrisy. In a fiery social media post, Rose accused Oprah of being as fake as they come, pointing to Oprah's past friendships with controversial figures like Harvey Weinstein and Russell Simmons. Rose didn't mince words, saying, "I wish she were real, but she isn't." The post included a photo of Oprah kissing Weinstein on the cheek, a moment that has been widely circulated to question her judgment and alliances. To be fair, Oprah has publicly condemned Weinstein since the allegations against him came to light, but for critics like Rose, that wasn't enough. They see it as too little, too late, an attempt to distance herself from a sinking ship rather than a genuine stance against wrongdoing. But Rose isn't the only one questioning Oprah's connections to such powerful yet problematic figures. There's also been a resurgence of chatter surrounding the infamous John of God scandal, a story that once made headlines but has faded into the background over time. For those unfamiliar, John of God, whose real name is João Teixeira de Faria, was a Brazilian spiritual healer who Oprah once featured on her show, praising his supposed miraculous abilities. Years later, shocking allegations surfaced accusing him of horrifying abuses against hundreds of women. While Oprah eventually distanced herself and expressed sympathy for the victims, critics argue that her public platform gave John of God legitimacy in the first place, allowing him to attract even more followers. To this day, some wonder, did Oprah ever truly vet him, or was her endorsement more about boosting ratings and sensationalism than accountability?
This is Jeffrey Epstein, multimillionaire, hedge fund manager, businessman with famous, powerful friends, and also convicted offender.
And then there's the controversy surrounding Oprah's own Leadership Academy in South Africa, a project she once called the most important thing I've ever done. While her intentions in founding the school seemed noble, the institution faced scandal when allegations of mistreatment by staff surfaced shortly after it opened. A former school matron stood trial for accusations of misconduct, though she was eventually acquitted. Oprah herself called the trial crushing, and while she made public statements about improving the school's oversight, critics wonder if the incident reflects a larger pattern of misjudgment. For someone who has been a champion of empowerment and safety, situations like these feel like a glaring contradiction, leaving some to question whether Oprah's global influence has, at times, blinded her to the consequences of her decisions.
This mentions around 150 people, including politicians, celebrities, friends, business associates, and alleged victims.
And let's not forget Seal, the musician who also called out Oprah for her alleged complicity in Hollywood's darker underbelly. Seal posted a meme of Oprah with Weinstein, accompanied by a scathing caption accusing her of knowing about Weinstein's behavior for years and doing nothing. When you've been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution, the meme read. Oprah's response, silence once again. It's a pattern that's hard to ignore. When faced with criticism, Oprah rarely engages directly, choosing instead to let her spotless public image do the talking. But does that image hold up under scrutiny?
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14. And I've heard the stories of what happened.
Even Dave's name has been linked to Oprah in the rumor mill. While there's no concrete evidence that Dave has openly criticized Oprah, conspiracy theories have swirled about their relationship ever since Dave's abrupt departure from his hit show years ago. Some fans have speculated that Oprah, as a powerful figure in the industry, might have played a behind-the-scenes role in the pressures that led to his exit. Of course, these are just rumors, but they add another layer to the growing narrative that Oprah's influence isn't always as benevolent as it seems.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know.
It's also worth mentioning Oprah's infamous interview with Dolly Parton, which recently resurfaced and sparked backlash. In the 2003 interview, Oprah pressed Dolly about her cosmetic surgeries in a way that many viewers felt was judgmental. Dolly, ever the class act, laughed it off and said, "Yes, I have, and I'll have some more when I need them." But Oprah's tone and body language didn't go unnoticed. Some fans felt it was a rare glimpse of a more condescending side to Oprah, one that clashed with her usual image of warmth and acceptance. So, what's the truth about Oprah Winfrey? Is she the empathetic powerhouse who has inspired millions, or is there a darker side to her success? Her conflicts with Monique, 50 Cent, Rose McGowan, and others suggest a more complicated reality, one where power and influence occasionally clash with the values she espouses. Does this make her a hypocrite or simply human? That's for you to decide. But one thing's for sure, Oprah's story, like Michael Jackson's, is far more layered than it appears at first glance. So here's the big question. Is Oprah's public image a carefully constructed facade, or is she genuinely the person she claims to be? And if she isn't, what does that say about the power structures in Hollywood that allow such personages to go unchallenged? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, stay tuned for more deep dives into the fascinating world of celebrity intrigue. Until next time,